with the Seattle Seahawks. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they've come in on a nice run of recent form, 4 wins out of 5. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a former Pro Bowl quarterback out of the University of Georgia, Matthew Stafford.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win. On first down, it's Stafford. Completing it here, Marvin Jones. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now a first down throw, Stafford. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Offense.
One way I really judge a player's value.
Territory just across midfield at the 49.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism.
LeGarrette Blount. Touchdown, Detroit. LeGarrette Blount, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Lions are going to take a first quarter lead. You talk about explosion plays. Here's one pretty much right out of the gate.
And now they get to ride a wave of emotion, momentum, everything. Just as you described, right out of the gate. Big sprint, touchdown. They're excited. But on the other side, they've got to guard against a major letdown because they hit them right in the gut with that one. And now you start to question yourself a little bit when you give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it in the middle of the schedule. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 26. Good to see this man running again. Here's Chris Carson. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Wilson into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's the 2014 NFL interception leader, Glover Quinn, and his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he stick?
And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. And they drew up the counter there. It worked. They're glad they drew up the counter.
And a lot of times what you're trying to do is just simply get the defense moving in one direction. It doesn't take much. Even one step's enough. Get them going in one direction and then cut back against the grain and let your running back finish it off and get the work done.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
Excuses, be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down. Now the former Notre Damer, this is C.J. Prosise. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That burst, good for 20 and a first down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call. And a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
And they'll get this down to the 10. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. This is Carson. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yes, now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And a little bit of space there. Takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
And Brandon, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line. Because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
From the 3 now, here they come on 3rd and goal. They snap it at 1. Now Wilson. There's Baldwin. Touchdown, Seattle. Doug Baldwin, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks able to make this a close game again. Bouncing back nicely from that bad opening drive where he threw the interception. Drive number 2 leads him right down the field and into the end zone.
So obviously his confidence was never lost, and that's a good thing to see. Great quality to have, and you absolutely must maintain that as a quarterback. But I have to think that they're probably still on the script that they prepared for this game. Just the 2nd drive. They've worked on these plays all week in practice. Put them to good use on that one.
And Detroit getting set to go now. Now, right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
They start on the ground here with Blunt. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. That's going to go as a loss of a full 8 yards. And it sets him back for 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
It's a gain of 7 on the ground, but they'll be faced with 3rd and long.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. This is Riddick on the screen. And he's got the 1st down, yardage before being taken down at midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. It worked very well there for a 1st down.
And it's caught over the middle. Wilson. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Blunt. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
First and 10 right at the 20. Reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Here's Stafford. Catch made right side by Wilson. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points. Able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. Wilson. Flushed out right. He's going to air this out, and that's caught inside the 35. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. From the shotgun, Wilson. And an alley to run. And he slides to avoid the hit. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on 1st down. And this is complete. It's Marshall. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. The former Gamecock here. This is Mike Davis. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the 1st as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On 3rd down, it's Carson. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the 1st down as he's tackled at the 2. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now. They'll try to run with Carson, and he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks have made this a 1-score game. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Janikowski good with the extra point. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. Out to kick is Janikowski. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Out of the gun, Stafford. Caught on the right side by Jones. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Out to the right here to Wilson. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Here's Stafford. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That one will go down as 33 yards on the 3rd down conversion.
Usually hitting a deep post pattern, as we just saw there for a big gainer, that's tough to do because you usually have a safety or 2 in the middle of the field. But if you hit enough crossers and underneath routes and curls, you start to get those guys creeping up wanting to make plays on the football. It's the equivalent of a changeup in baseball. You show your other stuff, throw the changeup, and on that play it worked for big yardage.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover.
And when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
On 3rd down, Stafford. And he has his receiver. That's Jones. Lions touchdown. Marvin Jones, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Lions add on to their lead. And, man, Charles, talking about zinging something in there. Those gloves, they help with one-handed catches, the fun stuff. Any padding for a rocket like that?
One would think so, but I'll guarantee you this. After that throw, his hands will hurt later. Not right now in the moment. He's just feeling good about catching it.
Yeah, a little stinger, but a touchdown. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And, Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match at a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Now it's Wilson. Baldwin with it over the middle. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. They'll go with Procise. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one.
I am shocked that they would go for it there. Talk about a gutty call. But that's all about having faith in your offensive line, and they come through there on 4th down.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They go play action here on 1st down. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. But I believe a Seahawk was able to get a handle on this, so this will remain Seattle ball. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, it's Wilson. He finds his man, Baldwin. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Over 70 yards receiving now for him in this first half alone, as he's got a first down on that last catch.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good.
Well, to me, that's taking a big gamble defensively, because that alignment you see, that's normally something you see down near the goal line, because now if they decide to go play action, something should be open there, and I think open big.
So maybe that's something that gets filed away for later.
I think without a doubt, you write it down, and if you see that look at a later date, go ahead and take your shot.
He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and, boy, they were successful.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And there's Baldwin. Touchdown, Seattle. Doug Baldwin with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Seahawks able to make this a close game again. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Oh, this is blocked. The Lions pick it up, but he doesn't get far. They're able to stop him. And after all that, the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
I know it's easy to kind of shrug off a blocked extra point, but this game is shaping up to be a tight one. The second half, this could prove crucial.
Yeah, we might look back on this one. We'll have to wait and see. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard. And Detroit getting set to go now. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing, because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
And this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On on 1st and 10. Stafford. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way. A dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
He's 2nd in the NFL in interceptions, and you understand why. He plays a game with great intelligence, understands positioning, and has a great ability to break on the football when it's in the air.
So fun to watch his closing speed, and another example of it on that play. Stafford.
These two offenses have gone up and down the field so far in the first half. Finally, I say, here's a stop on 3rd down.
On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. Back deep, the dangerous Tyler Lockett. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Doug Baldwin and company getting ready to go again on offense. Sitting right around the midpoint of the season, on pace for 1,000 yards. Good year so far, and I'm sure film study being devoted to him a little bit more on the other side.
They have to, because the pace that he's carrying right now, if you're pushing a 1,000-yard pace as a receiver, that means he warrants your attention. And right now, precision is going on with their offense. Kind of like that timepiece you wear on your wrist. You know, that good stuff. Got to knock that off somehow. Chip away at that timing. Change things up a little bit and make them go to other things and make them do those things better.
Yeah, try to make them uncomfortable. Not many teams have been able to do that so far this year. 1st down, Seahawks. Wilson to Baldwin. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. Flush to his right. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. He was looking for his big target, Brandon Marshall. And now it's 2nd down.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful, because you got to keep it away from the defender. But you also have to give your own guy a chance, too.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. Steps away to his left. Room to run past midfield. Whoa! It still won't go down. The rushing numbers for Wilson may be down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the 1st down.
Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. A pair of 1st downs gives them a 1st and 10 up at the 44. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long, with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
Second and 10. It's Wilson again. Buying time to his left. There he goes inside the 30. The 20. And all the way down to the 17-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. The tight end, Ed Dixon, was the target, and it's 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Wilson now to throw again. He'll dump it off to Procise. And he'll be out of bounds. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal. A bit of a surprise. They're going for it with 2 ticks remaining. No sign of the field goal unit.
Touch 50, touch 50.
They'll run it. This is pro size. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. On first down, pro size. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position end up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Glover Quinn. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. They were looking for Marshall that time. So that right there was his 2nd pick, but keep in mind, this is a guy who once had a rare 3-interception game in his career.
So what are you saying, that getting 2 in a game, that's like kid stuff for him? That's nothing. He's already done that, right? Been there, done that. You know he wants a 3rd again.
And Jones has it over the middle. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Stafford on first down. Complete to Jones. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. Now Stafford. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Stafford to Jones, enough for a Lion first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They'll go to Blunt, try and pound it in. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. LeGarrette Blunt, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. The bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. They go play action with Wilson. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
And this third down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. To throw is Wilson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. So they took a shot there on 3rd down. Couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Now it's Tate.
Illegal block in the back. Return.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win it. Boy, were they clicking on offense.